This is the partypoker.net World 10-Pin Masters, and 16 of the globe's best talent are striking it out to see who will win that $30,000 first prize plus the championship title. Well, we're halfway through the first round stages, so let's see how the draw looks so far.
4 players out, 4 players through to the quarterfinals. Each match the best of 2 games, the winner the one with the higher points aggregate. Defending champion Chris Barnes through to play Palermo of Finland. Belmonte of Australia takes on Al Sheikh, the Saudi Arabian teenager. Next up, it's Canada against Malaysia.
Tonight, another 2 players go head-to-head. Will they be able to adjust to our lane, or will they lose their rhythm when it comes to the crunch? Only one can make it through to the quarterfinals. Let's meet the players.
My name is Michael Schmidt. I'm from Canada, and I'll be playing Alex Liew.
Hi, I'm Alex Liew. I'm from Malaysia. I'm 31 years old, and I'm here for the World 10-Pin Masters.
Seeing him bowl in this event last year, he was a very strong competitor. He made it all the way to the semis, so I'm sure I'll have my hands full today.
He's a great bowler. He's just won the World Cup last 2 years. It's going to be a good match.
I like to think my chances are good, but I know I'm going to have to be on top of my game and get lots of strikes in order to stay in touch with him.
He's doing pretty good, so it's going to be tough for me.
Match 5 of this first round. This partypoker.net World 10-Pin Masters, and a very interesting encounter indeed between 2 players making their second appearance here at this tournament. Michael Schmidt from Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada, 26 years of age now. Doesn't bowl full time, but as close as he can. Nicknamed T-Bone, but he's got a number of different nicknames. Schmitty, Phenom. T-Bone evidently a type of car accident that you can get when another car goes into the side of you and you end up as a T-Bone. Hence the nickname. Quarterfinals last year, solid performance from the man from Canada, but a very likeable guy both on and off the lane, and this sort of character, Cass, so good for the sport.
Absolutely, yeah. Big, powerful chap. Rolls a really powerful ball. Gets lots of rotation on it, lots of speed, and really rips those pins. Just going through his 4-ball practice setup. Just trying to find a line to the 1-3 pocket for the right-hander. Alex obviously on the left-hand side of the lane. His goal will be the 1 and the 2 pins. That's the left-hander's pocket.
Well, first time we've seen 2 bowlers working opposite sides of the lane. And you said you couldn't wait to see how the left-hand side was going to perform.
Well, it will be interesting, of course, but I mean, there are people who say that there is some sort of advantage on the left-hand side of the lane, but not in this 1-lane scenario. It's a freshly dressed lane, 1 bowler bowling on the right, 1 bowler bowling on the left, and that should be pretty much equal, as the lane is conditioned with lane oil equally across the lane. So one would assume no advantage. It's just down to power and accuracy and consistency.
Michael Schmidt then has had his 4 practice balls. Alex Liew with 2 to go. The winner of this match, incidentally, will meet the winner of Paul Moore versus B-Boy Rivera. And Alex Liew from Malaysia will be hoping that it's him. Liew-1, the nickname for this man. He's a very quiet, very shy gentleman, but he's a gentleman. And, another one of these guys that if you want to go and talk 10-pin bowling with him, then he'll sit down with you and have a cup of coffee and he'll answer any questions you've got. And these players are so approachable at this tournament.
Alex is the current Asian Tournament of Champions winner, ranked 4th in 2006 on the Asian Tour, and as said previously, averaged 237 last year for his 6 games in this World 10-Pin Masters event, and went out in the semi-final stage, so hopefully going one better this year, perhaps.
Well, favourite bowler, Parker Bond the third. So many of these guys list their favourite bowlers from the PBA. For Michael Schmidt, Chris Barnes, Tommy Jones and Pete Webber. That's not a bad trio of favourite bowlers to have.
You wouldn't mind having those in your team, would you? Alex's favourite bowler, Parker Bone, a big left-handed player from the PBA in the USA. A multi-winner.
So the lads ready to go. Bernie White, our tournament referee, will be on stage to get this one underway. And it's a fascinating encounter.
Wish you good luck, good bowling, gentlemen.
Not only the left and right hand combination,
Michael to start.
But the fact we got two guys that don't come up against each other all that many times in international competition. Michael Schmidt, though, was on the crest of a wave, really was, in terms of his form and his confidence when he came here last year as the reigning World Cup champion. And you just wonder, Cass, if over a period of time, you know, those results drift into the past, drift into the back of your mind, and it gets back to the daily grind of trying to be the best you can.
It's a difficult job to stay at the top all the time. But for the last 2 or 3 years, this man's certainly been one of the world's high rollers.
The all-important first delivery out of the way, and he's straight on the board. Liew-1 looking on from the crowd, the man in the glasses in the centre of your shot. Another formidable Asian bowler. He'll be in action later on in this tournament, and one of your favourites for the title this year.
Yes, if I had to put some money down, there's a couple of bowlers that I would have picked out, and Remy was one of them.
I'm sticking with Chris Barnes.
Say no more. I'm sure Alex has got something to say about that as well.
Alex Liew then, wearing that big wrist guard that a lot of the players used to wear. Not always because of an injury, sometimes purely and simply for protection. And no protection needed there, well, only for the pins anyway. There's our Hungarian fans in the crowd.
Yeah, just flown in for the whole tournament from Budapest. I do believe this programme actually goes out there on their TV networks. Great shot from Alex on the left-hand side. Nice bit of consistency. And absolutely ripped the rack. So we're all level after one frame.
Well, we've already had some cracking contests so far in this tournament. In particular, our fourth match, Darren Cundy versus Badr Al-Sheikh. Badr Al-Sheikh coming out on top of the end of that one, but it was there was only one pin in it for most of the game. And this one looks like it's going to be pretty tight as well. Only 3 strikes so far.
Yeah, very consistent roll on the ball from Big Mike. Happy with that one. Gets the strike, rips the rack for the first double of the match.
It's interesting when you listen to the descriptions that the players give about how the lane is performing. And Chris Barnes said yesterday he knew that if he put it in the right place to start with, it was almost as if the lane was sucking it into that pocket, and he felt really confident about putting the revs and the power on.
Well, we thank our chief lanesman and technician Ross Gibson from Complete Leisure for the state of the lane and the way it plays, and Alex likes as well on the left-hand side. He's hit 2 strikes in a row as well.
You never hear this lane talked about as being easy, though. You might get some really decent scores on it, you might get some wonderful runs of strikes, but the players will tell you, because of the TV lights, because of the atmosphere, because of the fact that it is just a single lane, it can bite back at any stage.
I don't believe that any bowler that says he's not nervous out here is actually saying the truth. You're that close to the audience, you're really in focus, you'll be going on worldwide television, and you've got to average about 220 as well. Not the easiest thing to do in the world.
You just made me nervous then. Schmidt to turn it into a turkey. He does. He's dealing with it very well indeed. I think one of these players that once he's experienced a situation, he just has to play one game and then he's comfortable. And he did that last year. He progressed well, and he's looking good at the moment.
Yeah, great balance for a big man. Gets to the line, slides up on that one leg, uses his right leg for balance. Gets lots of leverage on the ball.
How does it compare with the style of Liew?
Well, by contrast, I mean, not only is it right-handed, left-hander, but you watch Alex approach here. He finishes his slide for some 6 inches from the foul line, which is quite some considerable distance back, which means he's actually got to loft the ball out onto the lane, which will affect his accuracy, and it certainly did on that shot. Right through the head pin. He's left himself the big 5, which is one horrendous split. 4, 6, 7, 10, and the 9 pin as well.
Yeah, that's what he's left with. Not a pleasant spare to try and make. And he's left 2, so problems for Alex Liew. The door open for Schmidt.
Yeah, that was a big opening as well. 5 on the first ball after a double. So he's lost pins there. It was an open frame as well. And already there's 39 pins difference only after 3 frames. that's the damage that a big open frame can do, especially if Schmidt can throw one more here in frame 4. And why not? He's come absolutely right out the trap, really lined up.
Schmidt to respond.
Yeah,
you can see a very different approach, isn't it, to Liew?
Very much a sort of stutter step, gets right to the line and then stops. It's not so much slide, but he gets so much leverage on the ball. It really causes some damage in the back end when it hits that 1-3 pocket. Here we see again from the front, just stops there, and fantastic leverage he gets on the ball.
Demanding that the crowd get on side after that one, and this Barnsley crowd only too happy to do that. So a 4-bagger for Michael Schmidt. Things looking good.
Well, as I say, he's been on television before, so maybe he's just going to work this audience a little bit. He's no stranger here, and if he can get the crowd on his side, well, that's always going to be an advantage. Alex looking to cover that open frame and does beautifully. Gets right back into the 1-2 pocket for the left-hander. That was a big mistake in frame 3, and it's going to be costly.
It is if Schmidt keeps piling the strikes on. Hasn't missed so far.
Yeah, he's really got locked into his strike pocket. There again, the difference, as you see, it's now 49 pins, 39 pins. And that's quite big daylight from a man that's striking at will.
Schmidt looking for 5 in a row. Sit, he said. He knew that was a problem. Didn't want it to go any further into the head pin, but it did.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. It hit hard, but it's left a 4 and a 6 pin standing up, which is, well, it's pretty outrageous, really. The 4 pin I can understand, but that's 6 pin. Stretching for that foul line with his sliding foot. Just a very poor reaction, and you'll be disappointed in that, because this is more than likely going to be an open frame.
Yeah, he wanted it to sit down into the pocket. It didn't. Well, that's what you've got to do when you've got that sort of split. You at least want to tidy one up.
Yeah, just take the 1, unfortunately. He was working on a strike, so that 1 actually counted double. Okay, chance for Liew to get back into the game. Jump on the open frame that Schmidt's just had and shoot a double of his own. He's not going to be rushed, is he? Long slide, but still short of the line. Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, there was a touch of the Remy-Ongs there. He took his time.
Yeah, he's left the 6, 8 and the 10 pin standing in the corner. That's a nasty little split for the left-hander. Left off of a ball that's just ridden up too high on the head pin. Wasn't much wrong with it, just didn't break the pins up. Now this is a makeable little spare, but he's got to be very, very accurate. Got to check that 6 pin on the right-hand side and float it across. Certainly not easy.
Well, it was an attempt, but he didn't go for safety and at least take 2 of the pins out. He went for the full house, and it's cost him. Second open frame.
That could be costly, yeah. Even if you're taking 2 pins out, I mean, you can lose a game by 1 pin, and if he does, he'll be kicking himself, won't he? Pins thrown away there, and he knows it.
This encounter still wide open. Alex Liew puts on his profile form. What do you dislike about 10-pin bowling? Well, he's honest. He doesn't like losing. So that's the stats for Alex, and those 2 open frames really shouting out at him. And as Cass said, let's hope that doesn't cost him in the end. And a light head pin, a light hit there on the pocket. But Schmidt will be pleased to see that, because that could have left another nasty split.
Absolutely, yeah. A high hooking ball, lots of revs, 450 approximately on that shot. Our stats come from our computer-aided tracking system. And our stato for the day is Ballmaster Pro Shop proprietor Andy Penny, who's coming up with all these ball speeds and ball revs. Interesting stats from Andy. Very useful for our viewers to know.
Well, it certainly gives us in the commentary box, and you guys at home as well, a nice heads up on how the players are changing and adapting to the conditions, because remember, this lane will change as this match progresses, so the players are going to have to put their deliveries in slightly different positions as the match progresses. It's who reads the lane best and who makes those changes most effectively. Sometimes it'll be a change of position, sometimes it'll be a change of ball, although that's the more extreme change of the two.
Absolutely, Simon. Yeah, you're spot on with those changes. And oh dear, that's very unfortunate. A high hooking ball right into the 1-2 pocket. Has cut right through the 5-pin there and hasn't deflected onto that 8-pin, which is why it stands there quite defiantly.
Yeah, very unusual to leave the 8, but Liew has been light into that pocket today. He's not got the same backswing as we see from Schmidt. That's very noticeable.
Well, his ball speed's down as well as his revolution rate as well. Trying to sort of glide the ball in, whereas Mike is very much more the powerhouse and the power pack.
But you've got to be bang on accurate. If you're going to glide it into the pocket, then you have to hit just flush every time.
Absolutely, yeah. And that was just a little bit of overreaction in that ball, and as I say, it cut through, left the 8-pin, and already there's the window of difference.
It's looking very good indeed for the Canadian.
Yeah, 41 pins already in frame 6. He's not doing very much wrong. He's just had that big 4-6 open frame glitch in frame number 5. Started with 4 in a row, and we have seen previously what how devastating this man's strike ball can be. Last year shot 7 in a row against Chris Barnes before just being pipped at the post. That looks good for another one as well. Father Rick in the crowd there. Enthusiastic support and applause. Travels with Michael around the world, his coach.
It's so important to have that stability with you and your support team. Well, there's the direction of his ball.
Yeah, you can see the big wide hooking ball it is as well. Through between 3rd and 4th arrows, you can see it almost gets to the outside boards before it rips back on the dry part of the lane. Comes back into those pins and does some severe damage.
Whereas Liew looks to me, Cass, to take a slightly straighter approach.
Yeah, it's not too much in it. He's playing the outside boards, but as I say, it's the speed of the ball and the rotation it's definitely down. Allowing that ball just to roll up. It carries nicely, but it's the consistency he needs.
Yeah, he knows he's still in it if he can keep putting the pressure on. Yeah, there's the difference in the two directions of the ball.
Yeah, see, he's straight down 2nd arrow, which is about the 10th ball on the lane. And Mike was deep inside. So yeah, there is a big difference there. Two contrasts. Mike working on a spare. Sorry, working on a strike. He'll be looking to make it a double, which he does. In 7 and 8. This is building up to be quite a good game.
Yeah, very good work from Michael Schmidt. So he doubles. He's already had a 4-bagger right at the start. And then those two untidy frames, the open in frame 5 was the problem frame, but it's not cost him too much because he's relied on Alex Liew to make a few errors. And unfortunately, the man from Malaysia has done just that. 2 open frames at the moment, really the difference between these two.
Yeah, they do say, Simon, that if you have an open frame, you must hit a double just to counteract it and keep your score level par. And that's actually a good double from Alex. He's back in the race.
Well, that's one of them taken care of.
Yeah, lofts the ball out on the lane. Sort of a down and in shot, but gets a good reaction in the back end there and manages to carry all 10. Got to be reasonably satisfied with the way he's playing. Just 1 or 2 bad reactions there. Frames 3 and 5. Didn't do himself any favours at all. But he's made 5 strikes, so he must be reasonably well lined up.
Schmidt then. Try and make his 2nd turkey of the match, 3 in a row. Well, you can hear him talking to his ball. Work, he was saying it didn't do enough work for him.
I've actually got a feeling that was Dad in the audience that shouted that. That was Coach Rick shouting work. But it didn't quite work, did it? He's left himself 2 pins standing. Again, you see the line of his ball between 3rd and 4th arrow there. Gets to the outside boards and comes back. Didn't quite carry this time, just a little light on the head pin.
Yeah, not quite coast to coast from Michael Schmidt, but not far off it.
He's obviously got the power to do it if he needs to do it. Just needs to hold a nice straight hard ball. Brings his spare ball out, shoots it straight, cuts down any sort of angle for error, takes the spare away.
Well, it certainly made things closer. If Liew can strike out from here, then he can make 215. If Schmidt strikes out in that last frame, then he can go 234. But both players still on for a maximum over 500, so the standards once again incredibly high.
And it's certainly taken his time working on this double. Appears to have increased his ball rotation rate. Oh, and rips the rack for a turkey, and that's a really great shot in the foundation frame. And he's definitely upped his rotation on the ball and ball speed as well, by the look of it.
Yeah, a bit more aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't working for him in the early frames, but he's seen the difference it's made. And that's given him 3 strikes in a row. There you see the speed, 30.5 kilometres, and the ball rate, rev rate up as well.
Starting to look a little better for Alex Liew. He might just have covered the problem frames that he had earlier in this game, but it's all about Michael Schmidt. It's all about what he can do from here. He's in control of this match still. Seemed to put a bit of extra beef in that, but it aquaplaned out of the oil and just didn't get the reaction he was looking for.
That's going to be an open frame, I'm afraid. That was the 2-8-10 pin standing. He's lost the 2 pin, which leaves him an even worse split, the 8 and the 10. Almost impossible to get these. There goes that 2 pin, look, and that's what he's left. That is likely to be an open frame.
Just never came back for him, did it?
No, just sailed on past the head pin. Takes the 1 and the game's over, and it's 2-11.
Well, he's gone from in control to possibly trailing if Alex Liew can strike out from here. 2-11 for Michael Schmidt, the best that he can manage, and that is a very frustrating finish to that opening game. Nowhere near as strong as he would have wanted.
Absolutely, 4 strikes in a row to start with, and another double. Just shows the damage that those open frames can do, and where they're positioned in the game. 2-11 with 6 strikes. Very disappointing, and as you say, Alex here could step up and snatch this one right in the 10th frame.
Strike out from here, it's a 4-pin lead for the man from Malaysia. He's found it again on this lane. Absolutely. As he did so often in 2006. A real star here at this World 10-Pin Masters competition.
Yeah, he's taken his time during this game, and he's learnt the right speed, learnt the right rotation and revs, and now he's reaping the dividends. 4 strikes in a row to finish, and he's going to have a small lead at the end of this game. Very professional. Well done.
Well, it's not going to be the lead he was looking for. In fact, it's going to be Schmidt that will just have his nose in front, but I think there's a few stories to come out of this game yet, Cass.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Not the best shot in the world there for Alex to finish on. It's going to cost him some pins. Spare for 203.
.203 it is. So a very tight first game. Some fantastic 10-pin bowling from both players, but also a couple of uncharacteristic errors from both, and that leaves us with a very tight match. 2-11 Michael Schmidt after that first match leads Alex Liew, who is on 203.
Welcome back to the PartyPoker.net World 10-Pin Masters. The pins are racked, the lane is oiled, and we're ready for our next game. Let's get back to our commentators.
Liew certainly finished the stronger of the two at the end of that first game, although he'll be disappointed with his last but one delivery. Did so much work to get himself back in, and well, he did all you can do in this single lane format when you're trailing, Cass. That's to build up the strikes and to build up the pressure on your opponent.
Absolutely, yes. He finished well, frames 6, 7, 8 and 9. and first ball in the 10th with strikes. And it's got him to where he is, and here we go again. Straight out the track with the strike, and I think he's looking a bit favourite now, isn't he? Certainly seems to be really lined up on that left-hand side of the lane, nice and smooth.